And we're live, everyone. Hello, everyone, again to another Souls stream. We're live, guys. You can unmute yourself.
Woo!
I'm gonna probably be periodically muting myself because I'm with my kids and they want to play dinosaur games, so they're
No
probably gonna be. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. Just feeling to chip in as usual, since we're doing our usual podcast tonight.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, everybody, I know what you guys are thinking. What are we going to be talking about today on this podcast that we are doing tonight? Well, there's one certain thing. We're going to be doing a live reaction to the new. One second, I forgot for one more place. We're going to be doing a live reaction to the of the new to the new to the new.
The Lies of P.
Yes, correct. Sorry about that. The Lies of P gameplay trailer. Sorry, my brain was wandering around for a second. Just I got to get things back up track. Yes, we're going to be doing the Lies of P. By the way, am I coming in clear before we all start? Loud and
Yes,
clear?
we are coming in great. You are great.
Thank you, because I got some new internet and it's actually been better.
All right.
Fiber optics helps a bit.
Well, shall we get with the official trailer then, gentlemen?
We shall.
Okay, I'm extremely excited.
I hope you are.
I've been avoiding trailers and spoilers all the time.
Excellent. Let's see what this game's all
I know it
about.
may be a little bit late, but hope you all had a good Thanksgiving.
I don't celebrate it, so I'll let you do this one.
All right.
Fun. Thank you.
Anyway, we've got a podcast. Let's go, guys.
Let us begin.
Ooh, turn it down a little bit.
All right.
Just in case it's too loud. That's good.
Krat.
Reminds you of a place. Pause it for a second. Reminds you of a place we've played before?
Old Yharnam.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, let's continue. We still got like.
Truly a beautiful city. But what use is prosperity against the impending doom that is the plague?
Ugh. That's cool.
Guess this one.
I too have fallen.
Oh my god, it's Dante!
Up the German.
In this graveyard, I must find it.
Hey, look, it's Father Gascoigne.
It's my fate.
Oh, well, that's certainly something we haven't seen before in a Victorian city.
Ooh. All right, this concludes our day at Sunday school. I hope you will enjoy the ceremony.
Wake up, son.
Huh?
Pause it, pause it, pause it, pause it, pause it. Did they really have to bring in the Bloodborne music in this?
That sounded like Yorm's theme for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounded like Yorm's theme.
I grant you it sounded a little like Yorm's.
Make your father proud.
So apparently the P stands for Pinocchio. And that's Pinocchio.
This is Pinocchio.
So wait, are you playing as his dad or Pinocchio?
Pinocchio himself. You're playing the puppet. Okay, pause it, pause it, pause it.
I see.
So let's hit to the gameplay trailer. So there's that one.
I'm already starting to really like this. Victorian era with main and protagonist as Pinocchio.
Mm-hmm.
See how the gameplay fares out.
I think for most of us it's gonna feel kind of familiar.
Hopefully.
This is definitely like Bloodborne. Come on. Pause it, pause it, pause it. This is like if we just took Mikolash's little level about puppets and all that and just made it an entire game of Bloodborne instead of replace beasts with puppets. That's how I think of this.
This is starting to look like more like a Victorian steampunk like Bloodborne.
Could be.
There's a lot of machinery.
And probably
I like
with a bit of magic splashed in.
Hmm.
Anyway, let's see what this game. Let's see the gameplay.
Well, that's ominous and terrifying.
I think it was me. I'd go around and just run away. Said, screw it. I don't care what's
Wake up,
happening.
son.
Bloodborne.
Good. Okay.
Pause it, pause it, pause it, pause it. Go back. Pause it. Go back a little bit. Okay, where he gets that bit. Remind you of
Right
something?
here?
Like, yeah, remind you of a certain weapon?
Oh, yes.
Whirligig, round and round it goes.
Reminds me more of the hammer with the hammer slam.
I know, but you see where I said it looks like Whirligig saw?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay.
Definitely see that.
Looks like he's next. Ooh,
Oh, that's new.
okay. Rise and feet. Pause it, pause it, pause it. Okay, so what do you think, guys think?
It looks honestly very beautiful. It looks a teeny bitty bit rough around the edges. Some animations I can see are definitely unpolished, but I have to say this is pretty damn good. This is pretty good.
They're definitely very promising. Yeah, the animations look a little bit janked and unpolished, but I think that can be worked around and fixed. It does kind of remind me a lot of like Souls combat just from looking at it, though it seems like it has a lot of like defensive options. Like I can't really tell exactly what's going on, but it's going to be interesting to look at. And the weapon variety, ooh, the movesets look really like nice. You know, a little bit unpolished, but I feel like once they get that once they got that rounding, I think they'll be pretty fine.
I do find it interesting
Mhm.
that I do think this is very Bloodborne-esque, honestly. Like the setting is unmistakably Bloodborne, a Gothic Victorian city. Though I think, like what you said, Dark, it's more on the lines of what's the term I'm looking? You said more like steampunkish than Bloodborne, like a steampunk Bloodborne.
Yes,
I
something like that.
I always thought Bloodborne in itself was steampunkish, honestly.
No, it's more to me. It's more Victorian era or Gothic, and like since it draws from the old folklore and such, and there's not a lot of machinery when it comes to, I would say, the Bloodborne esque prowess because there's not like you haven't like seen a giant contraption like I would say there's a giant enemy made out of entire machinery. For an example, like some of the enemies are just like walk like as if they're like you know robots or something like that.
Yeah, I guess I guess this one looks more steampunky than Bloodborne, but again, the feel is unmistakably Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A lot of I know there's no cosmic horror, but it's more like body horror with all the, you know, Dark Souls
Yes.
and all that, with Bloodborne and all that. The way, like, I swear, if you the character from the hunter from Bloodborne and put him there, I doubt he'd feel any different.
I mean, you say something about Eldritch Horror, but you know how Bloodborne is. It starts off with just fighting some beasts and werewolves, but then it devolves into that. Who's to say that this game won't have that?
True, so it could be true. Maybe it's just a
Yeah.
surprise twist that we'll actually see cosmic horrors from Lovecraft.
To me, I think this should still be its own thing because I mean, this is as close as we're gonna get to Bloodborne 2. But the thing is, as much as I do want Bloodborne 2, I feel like I said this should be its own tenic thing. It should like branch off into an alternate timeline of a universe. Basically, think of it Bloodborne as the main stem, and like it starts to branch out. This could be one of the branches.
Honestly, there are not that many goth. I really hope that like how we have medieval fantasy Souls likes. We have like a lot of Bloodborne, Gothic Victorian Bloodborne like games. Honestly, I feel like
Hmm.
the oversaturation of medieval Souls like is just oversaturated. Not enough Gothic or Souls like. I think it's like a, I think it's like a missed opportunity, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You guys?
I still have to agree with what you're saying. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone just tries to capture it from like the medieval sort of era, but I feel like it can't evolve past that. I mean, I feel like Code Vein also came close to what you're asking for.
But Code Vein isn't good. It took it took it like from what people have told me, it took God Eater's mechanics and just basically gave it a Souls twist to it. And I feel like an understanding God Eater's mechanics are a bit different, are quite different from a Souls like.
Yeah. I watched my wife play God Eater. I was like, wow, I would have liked this mechanics in Code Vein because it looks like it makes it so much more easier to fight the monsters.
Okay, I know we're getting a bit off tangent. We'll get back on the topic. Like, you two have played Code Vein, right?
No, but I have seen a lot of gameplay of it.
I've unfortunately, I mean, I find that the base game's fine, but the DLCs is absolute trash. Like, I'm
I know.
very adamant.
That's fair enough. But how would you describe like the combat exactly?
Very Souls-like, though it has a very like Bloodborne-esque like aesthetic to it, like vibe, because it's like you
Right.
basically play vampires and you have like a lot of blood-based powers and stuff.
Though I
To
don't
me, it just feels like as if it's too messy. It's trying to top itself, but it just doesn't give off that just beautiful, smooth transition feeling that you can get from either one because you really can't combine the two of them. I mean, you can, but there's a lot of things that you need to take into consideration and account if you need to do that.
like how God Eater's combat, if I believe is correct, focuses more on the more on more floatiness, if I'm correct.
Conditioning, yeah. Versus this, it's more like roll spam.
Well,
As with
I think Souls like has more. I wouldn't say. I think Souls like has more weight to its attacks. You know what I mean? That you can feel the
Yes.
strikes. From what I understand from God Eater, it's basically more the lines of floaty, like your character moves about.
Kingdom
Doesn't have
Hearts,
a lot of realistic weight.
I
Mhm.
would say Kingdom Hearts has a lot of similarities in terms of like the character movement and sort of like the feel of the combat.
Fair enough, and I played Kingdom Hearts. Anyway, time for the final part of this whole mess that we're doing. I believe it is the article
Yes,
I found, which was
the
actually
article.
released 53 minutes as the time of this recording, so it is very freshly new.
All right.
Mm.
Well, it may say that the Bloodborne similarities were not intentional, but I think that's a lie.
I think we all. The cake is a lie. I had to throw a Portal joke in there somewhere.
If only
Yeah.
I had a soundboard.
Anyway,
All right.
besides a seemingly unmistakable and overwhelming comparison to Bloodborne, Round 8 claims that Liza P's parallels to it are unintentional. Let's see what the article has to say. Scroll down, my friend.
All right. With how innovative and influential many modern games have become, it has become more difficult to pigeonhole certain games into a rigid genre. Souls-like games such as The Surge or Metroidvania games such as Ori and the Blind Forest are oftentimes much more than the sum of their parts. Yet the classifications they are dealt appear to identify them as purely der- der-
The
der-
derivative.
derivative. Thank you. Sorry. I don't know why that just messed me up. Okay. It is perhaps true that fans have grown too accustomed to making quick comparisons between the games that exist in a similar genre classification, though it is immediately easier to define titles that have comparable visuals or gameplay characteristics. Nonetheless, some games that have earned such labels may not have intended to support such mimicry, as is apparently the case with Round 8 Studio and NeoWiz's Lies of P. The game has been heavily compared to Bloodborne recently, though it sounds like the similarities could be a coincidence.
Okay, pause it right there. Okay, you're telling me a Victorian era Souls-like with combat based on with that's a lot faster than normal Souls likes, because Souls likes tend to be heavy on their slow on how it you know, and that basically has body horror in some malform, in the sense it's more mechanical, and is more. And did I say Victorian?
Yes.
Okay, one is a coincidence. Two, maybe. Three, you're pushing it. Four, this is just basically an homage. Like, seriously, I think they're trying to do this is because if this game is compared to Bloodborne, it might not come out as it might not come as unfairly, because they may think, hey, why didn't this game look more like Bloodborne for the Souls purists? We all know how they
Mhm.
are.
Shoot, it would have been better instead of they said unintentional, they say what's Bloodborne? Yeah, like the act oblivious.
Yeah, like they say, we don't. What's Bloodborne? Could you explain? Bloodborne is that difficult, is that uh, Victorian era Souls-like game that came out in 2015 that was very popular and was one of the PS4's best sellers. I still argue it's better than God of War. Fight me in the comments, you God of War fans.
You do realize I'm a God of War fan as well.
I know.
So, I mean, what metric are we going by? I mean, I prefer Souls games over God of War, but objectively, God of War, like based on sales, reception, and like in general, like I guess entrenched in culture, I think God of War beats Bloodborne. As much as I love Bloodborne in the
I
Souls
know,
game,
Yeah.
but come on,
As much as I love Bloodborne, which I do think is an amazing game, I feel like as if it's being outsailed by God of War.
Bloodborne, let's face it, it was a Souls-like. It's a niche genre. Let's face it. The Souls-like genre is a niche, which the three of us are into. And the fact it was one of the best-selling exclusives and I'm saying yes, God of War beat it, but it sold a bucket load of PlayStations in its early life.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, don't get me wrong, God of War is a beautiful game, and yes, I've seen gameplay trailers, and I will get to play it, and I hope Leia will enjoy gameplay of it, and I hopefully will enjoy it playing it as well. But I just feel like God of War was already an established franchise. Let's not forget that. So
Yes.
it already had a core base from the 1, 2, 3, and all the others on the spin offs. So it had the core base already. Bloodborne only had the success from the niche genres that was the Demons and Dark Souls at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
we have to give Dark Bloodborne credit the fact that it was a new remember, Sony had no hope for Bloodborne. They thought it was going to flop, like how they did with Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Look.
Oh boy, they were wrong.
Okay, like I'm going to say this, that if they just held on with their buckets with Demon Souls and just said, we're going to keep From Software on, they would have had the entire Dark Souls genres to themselves. They would have had the creme de la creme. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, definitely.
You know, Bandai has the rights to the Dark Souls. They have Bloodborne, their own IP.
Don't they have Elden Ring?
Huh?
Don't they have Elden Ring 2 now?
Nope. Elden Ring is not going to be PS2, PS4, 5 exclusive. It's
No,
a multi.
Bandai Namco have Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also have Sekiro, and also I believe who else have Activision also has Sekiro, which
No, From only owns the rights to Sekiro. They were only the publishers.
they're only the public. Okay, but still, Activision. The fact that Sekiro came out the way it did, and Activision had a hand in it, really does bother. Like, it amazes me that Activision could like not ruin Sekiro.
I say this again, and I'll say this twice. I'll say this again, and I'll say this twice. I was really terrified when Activision was on the logo and that this was going to be from, and I was worried there'd be microtransaction. Thankfully, didn't mess with the game.
Activision,
it's a real shame.
Hey,
Huh?
Miyazaki, no. Okay. They probably just listened to him. Hey, can we put no? Hey, I see you're going to do a free DLC. Can we make it no?
No. It's a real shame because I remember when Activision used to just produce some games that didn't have microtransactions.
Or weren't the same schlop every year, or weren't a horrible company. Oh wait, they've always been a horrible company.
Yeah. Oh, how the cookie crumbles.
Yes.
Now,
Let's continue this little podcast. Enough about
yes, indeed. As reported by Kotaku in an email exchange with NeoWiz, the developers have set the record straight and claimed that while they are greatly honored to have invoked fans' comparison of Liza P. from Software's Bloodborne, it definitely wasn't intentional on their part.
Oh God, I know people. This is the sort of thing games developers always do. They say this because they don't want to get the heat from the fans. You know what I mean? Because
yes.
Because if they say yes, it was intentional, then people would have called them a copycat.
Well, but Ji-Won Choi, thank you. Ji-Won Choi, NeoWiz's lead producer, reportedly added that Souls-like titles are certainly inspirational, and almost everyone in our team is a hardcore Souls-like fan.
Oh my!
Oh.
Oh, so do you think that maybe they have had a bit of influence playing Souls-likes, especially Bloodborne?
You smell that? That's the smell of irony.
This is like saying, okay, this is like me saying,
but we love Souls games.
This is like this is like me saying, I'm a big fan of Yoko Taro games, but I made a game that was similar to Nier Automata. Intentionally, it wasn't intentional that I made the game look similar to his game.
Hardcore Souls fan.
At least owned to the fact that, yes, it was probably... I think he just contradicted himself. We didn't do it because we didn't make the game intentionally, but hey, you know.
Yeah, just our interest in what we like as a hardcore gamer. Yeah, you know, the things we liked in the Souls games, that sort of influenced how we made a game, but it's not inspired by Souls. No.
Yes. Honestly, I don't mind this. This is a welcome change because I kind of like other games that are very similar to Dark Souls. Because I mean, I like the game Mortal Shell. If anyone has played that here,
I'll be playing. It's going to be free this month, so I might as well just pick it up.
Okay, so Mortal Shell, Mortal Shell doesn't have any shields, but you have the ability to harden your boss. Yeah. The bosses are kind of jank, but overall, it's a pretty solid game. If you do the Virtuous Cycle, it's basically like Chalice dungeons and like randomly generated enemy placements and stuff, but it's also jank.
Anyway, let's continue this.
All right. Choi's email. I hope I'm pronouncing
Yes,
that.
you
Choi's
pronounced it.
email exchange interview continues to compare its features with that of Souls-like games, referring to a similar death penalty and difficulty level. Ooh. As such, it does seem like this information conflicts with previous statements, though perhaps Choi.
Joy
God.
that's how you pronounce it. It's joy.
All right, thank you. Choi only considers Lies of P to be inherent of a Souls-like from Software's general blueprint, and not necessarily a one-to-one template described from Bloodborne. However, Lies of P's official gameplay trailer would have fans believe otherwise from a mere visual standpoint, as there are some obvious parallels between the two games.
I don't
Oh, you
there's
think?
I don't think there's weapon transformations in Life of P, but there could be different stances that could be like weapon transformations. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, totally.
There could be like there could be different attacks depending on the. I hope you're getting what.
Oh yeah, I'm totally getting what you're saying. Don't worry.
So there's a good chance that yes, he did make it look like Bloodborne for a good reason. And the fact is, maybe I think we can also put a bit of a switch of Sekiro because Pinocchio has an all multi-purpose arm like Wolf does.
Ah, yes.
Remember that had a hook shot and a flamethrower? Like Wolf's grappling hook and his flamethrower? So I guess we can
wonder how that's going to fare out in the gameplay.
Let's hope it actually works better than the prosthetics because I rarely use the damn thing.
To be honest, that's actually very true.
Told you.
All right. While Lies of P's Bell Epoque environments...
Epoque.
I'm sorry, is this French?
Epoque. I'll just skip the word.
All right, from the top again. While Lies of P's Bell Epoque, or whatever you say it. Epoque, thank you. Epoque environments and aesthetics are unique to Round 8's fantastical iteration of Pinocchio. The nearest from Software or Souls-like comparison then falls to Bloodborne, which also has a definitively gothic aesthetic and atmosphere. Pinocchio's reimagined effort, rather, is wholly unique in and of itself and seems to be the heart of Lies of P's mystique.
I think the problem is that they forgot the Victorian setting because we all know, and I think every single Souls player that's ever played Bloodborne, whether it be most of you, I hope, knows that it's a Victorian-esque. You take it from old London town, after all.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is that it looks... Ironically enough, Pinocchio wasn't... I think there's a slight problem with this in a historical sense. Pinocchio was from the 17th, either the 15th or the 17th century, not the middle of the Victorian era. So, anyway.
Well, I'm just wondering to see how this would take place. Well, let's continue on. Unfortunately, Lies of P may not be able to convincingly shake its Bloodborne comparisons. Still, these comparisons may assist in Lies of P's emergent popularity as a Souls-like due to how beloved Bloodborne is, especially in the wake of rumors and desires for a Bloodborne PC port or wholesale sequel.
Raise your hand. How many? Say aye if you want a Bloodborne sequel. Aye.
Aye.
Green.
Blue Point. Just remake it.
No, you want a sequel to Bloodborne. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I don't know, and because it's one of those things where it's like you want it, but like if it has any problems, people are gonna be upset with it. So it's like that's where I'm thinking.
Okay, if they don't do the whole Dark Souls 2, give it to another team, I think it'll be fine because we all know what happens when
Bloodborne goes. If Bloodborne 2 the Dark Souls 2. I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna
That's
be frustrated. I'm going to write a letter to complain to Sony saying they should have gotten Miyazaki back. The fact
no, I mean,
is, hmm?
is he drooling over his Elden Ring creation with the Game of Thrones guy?
Let's
You
be
mean
frank.
George R. Martin?
Let's be frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's be frank. It was interesting when Martin announced that he was going to be working on a game. I didn't think he would be into that because he does. I never even think he played video games. But the fact that he actually worked with a famous Japanese company like From, mind you, From was a low tier company before it got Dark Souls. Kingsfield, anybody remember those series?
Oh, yeah.
Don't be coming at Kingsfield, all right? Kingsfield is pretty great.
I'm not saying Kingsfield is bad, but how many people before From got popular knew of Kingsfield? Maybe a handful of hardcore gamers that love the challenge.
A lot of D&D fans probably.
Than D&D. Hey.
Well, the article ends with Liza P is currently scheduled to release in 2023 for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X.
So basically, we'll wait one more year till the game comes out until we can finally get our opinion on the game.
Honestly, I'm wondering to see how they'll take this iteration of Pinocchio seriously. I'm wondering how that will pan out.
Couldn't they have used a Victorian figure besides Pinocchio? Mind you, could you actually look up when Pinocchio was first written? I want to make sure Pinocchio written, yeah.
There we go.
I know it was written by an Italian, but no, not that. Look up the author of Pinocchio. That should help us.
All right. Who was the original author of Pinocchio?
Just go to the Wikipedia. Not that.
Oh, apparently, it says it was created by Carlo Collodi.
Of 1883. This was
1883.
Hang on, that was in the Victorian era. I was wrong. He was if I remember correctly, the original creator of Pinocchio wasn't a big fan of kids. In fact, I can't really say it on the thing, but the amount of horrible things done to the little puppet was almost horrifying. In fact, Pinocchio was actually written to be the naughty little child. You know how in the Disney movie, Jiminy Cricket was actually Pinocchio's conscience?
Yes.
In the story, he stomped on the poor cricket.
Now, this is the stuff Disney does not want you to find out.
Yes, I remember Disney likes to sanitize its stories.
To feel its corporate, greedy, money-grabbing hands.
Yes, that's true. But yes, like I said, it's interesting that they chose Pinocchio of all things. Right?
Disney has hands in this.
Well, technically, Pinocchio...
Let's hope not.
No, Pinocchio is in the public domain, so even Disney can't sue them. Since it is in the public domain, they can have no right. It's like Cinderella, Snow White, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Those are all the public domain.
Disney would like a word with you. They will find.
How much you want to bet that Disney's going to even try to take this to court?
Pretty sure. I doubt it.
Look, I'm still mad that when I saw the Disney logo when Sora came to Smash Bros, I was like, oh no, Disney, stop! You're doing too much.
Oh yeah.
They're like, can we have Sora in the game? You have to put Disney logo and then make it so we get 95% of the profits when you sell Sora.
All right. I want your thoughts on the entire gameplay. I know it's we're a year off to the game releases. But what do you think of Life of P? Why do I say Life of P? I always say life instead of lie.
I don't know. Maybe it'll turn into the Life of Pi.
Anyway,
Yeah, don't talk about Life of Pi like that. I love the book. Movie's kind of sus, but the book was fine.
Next thing you know, it's just going to have a tiger as the main protagonist.
I think that's why I kind of say life instead of lie, because it's so close to the damn thing.
Bruh, Life of Pi was legit.
I wouldn't know. I didn't watch it.
Imagine being stranded on a tiny boat with a tiger and you're going on some whack adventures.
I think I'm perfectly fine with that one. You can close the stream now.
Well, for my thoughts, I'm actually really excited.
It's nice to see some crops of Souls-likes coming about, and not just because they're base old fantasy this time.
Yes.
I feel like, you know what? I would love to see, I'd love to see like a. Honestly, I know I'm gonna basically saying this, but I would really like to see like a. How do I put this? A live, like basically like a more steampunk or even more Victorian-esque Souls-like. I feel like there's not enough of them.
I could definitely respect that.
Call it the influence that Bloodborne has on me. I played the game to death, and I occasionally just replay it for the nostalgia, but I've played that game to death so much.
Indeed. I'm honestly want to see how the story will pan out.
Cryptic, up to player interpretation, and basically confusing for those who are, and good for the lore buffs. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because those are basically the aesthetics of any Souls like we play.
Well, you may never know. This thing may do something that's outside of the box.
I still regret the fact that I said that there'd be a Final Fantasy Souls-like. I still can't believe those words, right?
Yes.
Who knows?
To me, it's just going to be Souls-like, not Final Fantasy. I'm sorry to say.
If I had that known I had that predictions, I would have said I'd like more games that are like Bloodborne that aren't Code Vein.
Mm-hmm.
Fact is that hopefully my predictions will come true this time. Okay, quick question: who's gonna play by Final Fantasy Origins?
Show you not.
I'm not.
Wait, what would you say?
Are you gonna buy Final Fantasy Origins because it's a Final Fantasy Souls-like? And I hate I have to put those two words together.
I don't know. I'm probably just gonna get Elden Ring and then just like retire from gaming.
Probably.
That's probably going to be all of our retirement plan. Just every single one of us.
Let's face it, we're basically gonna be playing Souls-likes we're gonna be playing Elden Ring to death, and we're gonna be trying so many builds.
Oh yes.
Come on.
Well, we gotta wait until what, February?
Yep. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe this will be start a precedent on basically open world Souls-likes.
That's gonna be scary. Like, there's gonna be so much stuff to do. But I mean, hopefully, I'm hopefully that the world's gonna be full. Because here's the thing: making open world games with like content is hard. Because like Ghost of Tsushima, it's pretty barren. That's the thing about open world games that bothers me. It's like you think it's fine, but then it's like feels really barren when you actually get into it.
I like Skyrim's open world because at least it has stuff in it.
Well, but the thing is, it can get old when someone just goes, "Hey, I have a lever something about your inheritance,"
or basically getting the thief. I play a Nightingale character all the time. The issue for me.
And also, here, take a look at this.
Who knows? The fact that, and like I said, it's Breath of the Wild Souls Edition. And let's not forget that Elden Ring and Zelda are coming out in the same year. A sentence I never thought I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, did you guys think that the Legend of Zelda game and a Souls-like is going to come out the same year?
No.
I sometimes wonder, like, I sometimes wonder, I know it's for the Switch going to be Switch exclusive, but for those who have a Switch and a PC, you're going to make a tough choice. Do you play a game that's an all-time classic, or do you play a game that has both of them have good heritage to both of them?
Well, we'll just have to see. Only time will tell.
Time will tell if I was going to say Zelda.
Selden.
Oh, come on. Zelda, Elden. Don't play.
Zelden.
Zelda, Breath of the Ring.
Breath of the Ring.
Sorry, I had to say it.
Why did I imagine it like just an onion ring with a pair of wings?
And hey, I called you that Elden Ring would be basically like Breath of the Wild. You guys said I was wrong. But who's right?
Oh my god, we've been over this. We know you're right. God.
Sorry,
You see that evil smirk? You see that evil smirk? He's plotting. He's plotting.
Sorry, it's just I like it when I'm right.
Well, don't we all?
Maybe for my next premonition, I'll imagine a Souls-like with actual flying mechanics.
And swimming mechanics. Apparently, Elden Ring we can't swim, which
Sekiro.
Sekiro's on the cusp of being a Souls game, though. This is weird.
It's a Souls-ishy like, but I would say it's its own little beast. It's closer to Tenchu, if anybody's played the original Tenchu games. Combat's similar, from what I hear.
That and Shadow Tower, yes.
There's actually two lost games. There was actually a sequel to the Shadow Tower games that no one knows.
Oh, FromSoftware also have a Ninja Blade game where you can get the Moonlight Greatsword, but nobody knows of that game because it was trash.
Yeah, exactly, and So there were two games that came out: Elden Ring, a Demon Souls that was actually a really good game that was undersold because the publishers didn't have any faith in it, and Ninja Blade, a game that was utter garbage, and yet nobody remembers that game. It's funny.
Even though they had Armored Spider in it too, which is hilarious. That the amount of reuse stuff in that game. I'm like, wait a minute. Demon Souls blew up with the other Souls game, but imagine the history, the timeline where Ninja Blade was the Demon Souls was the Ninja Blade. Imagine that timeline.
Would be a very terrifying timeline.
Yes.
I
would be
rather...
very scary.
I might try to get my hands on Ninja Blade just to see what it's like, but I'm not putting my hopes too high.
It's like Devil May Cry, except repetitive.
And I played one or two Devil May Cry games. They're fine. No, I am not playing 5. They're not my cup of tea.
Yeah, stop asking in the comments.
Because I knew someone's going to ask me. I know someone's going to ask me that if I'm going to play 5. And no, I am not playing 5. I played 4 and 1. I didn't... Don't get me wrong. They're good games. Before you all jump at the comments and say I'm a hater. I just don't
I bet there's just going to be like a whole bunch of people going...
Oh, how dare I have a different opinion saying I don't like Devil May Cry. Oh, I'm interested in trying the DMC Devil May Cry. Might be interested in that one. Now I'm going to piss people off.
Well, Green, it's been nice knowing you, Hunter.
Yeah.
Green, prepare the funeral.
Oof.
Yes, how dare I say I wouldn't mind trying the remakes. I have a thing where sometimes I play games people don't like because I might like them, and I'm sometimes proven right. I like the games that sometimes people don't like.
Well, that's totally fine because it's a free world. It's America.
I live in Europe.
He's a European, though.
I still have freedoms. Anyway, the point what I'm trying to make is that saying I will give the games a try. I might stream it on my Twitch. Oh, speaking of which, I also reviewed an anime called High Guardian Spice last week. If anybody's want to see that,
that doesn't count. That don't. I'm by my kids. Don't be saying harsher words. But that doesn't count as anything. First off, that's not no anime. That's literally just hot garbage.
Thank you for
Oh
saying.
my goodness. Why'd you
I
watch?
bet.
Why'd you
Hang on.
I
wait?
bet as soon as a Korean heard you say that, Hunter, you could just imagine Jolene's theme just played in the background.
Look, I didn't. I going back to tooting my own horn for a bit. I only watched up to episode 3 before I just gave up.
Bro, let me just tell you. People, as soon as that came out, people like, let's make the freaking hentai of this thing. That's what people are doing right now.
Ooh, spicy.
Like,
Ah.
that's more entertaining than the freaking show itself. That's the sad part.
That's sadly that's true. But the point is, what I'm trying to say is that I watched up to 3 episodes. I gave up. I have rarely done that on the series. I tend to watch a bit more, but 3 episodes, I just quit.
Shoot, I didn't even give that show the first 5 minutes. The only other show that I had a similar reaction was the He-Man show, where He-Man got like freaking destroyed. I was like,
you mean He-Man and the Masters of the Universe?
Controversial
like,
opinion. I have a controversial opinion. I don't think it's that bad.
that's like, so imagine watching like, let me take an example. Like, imagine watching Spider-Man and Spider-Man gets killed, and then you're watching like freaking, I don't know, Gwen Stacy the whole movie. Not even the Spider-Man, just Gwen Stacy. You're like, what?
Well, it depends. Is it a Gwen Stacy? Is it a Gwen Stacy Spider-Man?
No, I'm saying she's not. This is not a Gwen Stacy Spider-Man. It's just you're watching somebody else.
I did like the Spider-Man with Mike. What was the new Spider-Man for that animated movie? With
the one with the different dimensional versions of himself.
You mean Into the Spider-Verse?
I love that movie. I want to review it, but I don't want to really do that because it's a movie and they're very difficult for me to summarize.
Well, it's not just because it's a movie; it's just owned by Disney.
I mean, it's a Disney.
Sony.
It's a
Sony.
Disney.
Sony owns Spider-Man, not Disney.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yo, wait. This is a DreamWorks movie, I believe, but Megamind's getting like a. I watched Megamind as a kid. I was like, this movie's legit. Nobody cared about it. Now with this glow up meme, I'm like, oh, people now realize that Megamind's a really great movie. Have you guys seen Megamind?
Yes, I have seen it.
Yeah, I saw it before it became popular. I'm like, now you guys see, like, this movie's like legit.
It's like that whole. I kind of think it kind of predicted the whole superhero. Personally, going off topic a little bit, I do think that Megamind was ahead of its time because with the whole
definitely
superheroes that are popular these days. So,
to quote a very specific scene from it, presentation.
Yeah. So honestly, Megamind was ahead of its time when it came up with this whole superhero thing.
Look, I was half expecting that Megamind was going to be Shrek, because I was like, this looks like it would be a Shrek movie. And then it literally took like a decade before it became a meme. I was like, what is this? Like, as soon as Shrek came out, Shrek was instantly a meme. Like, it literally came out before it even released, already a meme.
But reminder, this was before the whole superhero craze. When did it first come out?
Megamind came out. Megamind. Release date. Megamind came out, 10 years ago. 2010.
Iron Man came out 2 years before that. That was about wasn't that like Thor's movie or something? No, wait.
So, one of Thor's movies. Really? Was it that 10 years ago?
No. Oh, there's so many movies I can't remember. But I think it was still like when the superhero craze was basically still in its infancy. Like so. Like Iron Man came out the previous year. I think it was Iron Man. Hang on, I think it had to be one of the Iron Man movies.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man 1 set up the Avengers, then basically came. I'll look it up, and I could be wrong. But anybody can figure out that one, just leave the comments down below. Anyway, I think we've talked about what we need to, and I think this will be where we end the podcast. You cool with that, you two?
It's been
all right. I'm totally okay with that.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much, and do check out my review. And for those who are not knowing, I'm going to be reviewing Black Lagoon. Yes, I'm going to be doing that one. Who knows? Maybe I'll be doing the live action adaptations. Maybe I'll be reviewing the live action adaptation. I'm predicting it now. Netflix will announce a live-action Black Lagoon. I'm predicting it.
Oh wow.
Wanna bet that?
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you everyone for watching it. Any final thoughts, you guys, before I close this off?
Nope. Other than just hope you all are just staying safe and have a great, happy holidays.
I knew too. All I could say,
Massa.
if you enjoyed this podcast, like and subscribe. That would be lovely. If you feel generous, join my Patreon. If you even €1 a month can help me a little bit. Follow me on Twitter and my Twitch. I stream Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And about to finish Chrono Trigger. If you want to see me finish that game, I've been playing it all for weeks now, guys. One of, if not my best favorite RPGs ever made. So yes.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm saying it is one of the best RPGs and probably the first Square Enix game that's a JRPG I'll finish.
Ooh.
So anyway, I thank you everyone, and may the good blood guide your ways. And like I said, like and subscribe.
Feel
Massa.
the old blood.